Pooh versus Bambi, issue number one from Zenescope. Yeah, it's exactly what it sounds like. Winnie the Pooh and Bambi are in public domain, so of course we got to cash in on that. And we got Pooh Bear versus Bambi. So this is issue number one of three, and a brief little summary that we get here. In war, there are rules, but the forest has none. Abandoned by his country, betrayed by those he once called family, and hunted by those who want nothing more than to keep him as a trophy. Pooh is on a mission, and no amount of honey will sate his thirst. He wants revenge. So we start off where we see like this military base, and it's somewhere deep in the 100-acre wood. And there's these guards, and they see one of their soldiers there out in the woods coming by, and they rush over to help him. And they're like, "What happened?" He's like, "There's monsters." And then his back starts beeping because there's a bomb strapped to it, and it explodes. And then we get Pooh Bear, Bambi, Eeyore, Rabbit, Owl, and Tigger. And they all show up, and they're basically giant, humanoid, muscular versions of themselves. And Pooh Bear's like, "Let's get us some honey." And they basically charge into the base and start shooting everybody. And this is basically just like that scene from Predator where Arnold and his gang are attacking the military base. That's pretty much what we get here. So they're like shooting their way through, using grenades and blowing stuff up. We even have Pooh Bear and Bambi doing the Dylan, you son of a bitch. CIA have you pushing too many pencils scene where they clap hands and try to like do the air arm wrestle. So we got that. And basically they're like, all right, we're gonna split up. You go right, I go left, we'll meet in the middle. And so the gang shoots their way into the base. And Pooh Bear is going down the hallway and he's like, oh, looks like Bambi beat me to the target. And that's when he sees Bambi with the target. And Bambi's questioning the target. And the target's like, I'm telling you the truth. Please believe me. Bambi's like, I do. And snaps his neck. And Pooh Bear's like, what are you doing? Like, General Robin asked us to bring the doctor back alive. Bambi's like, the general has been lying to us. And he basically questions Pooh Bear, do you remember your childhood? And Pooh Bear's like, we don't have a childhood. We were grown in tubes and trained as soldiers. And Bambi's like, oh yeah, then what the hell is this? And he shows like this top secrets file. And it shows Pooh Bear, Bambi, and Eeyore. And they were all regular animals. And they were at the Queen Zoo in New York. And Bambi explains what happened. He's like, they kidnapped us, Pooh Bear. Like, we were just regular animals. We had a life. We had a family. And they took us. And they injected us with something. They brainwashed us. And they made us lose our memories. And they trained us to be soldiers to fight their wars. But we don't have to do that any longer. Some guards like show up. And Bambi just brutally murders them. And Pooh Bear is like, no, man, like, you're not telling the truth. Like, General Robin would never do that to us. He's our friend. Come on, let's go back and we'll talk to him. We can authenticate these files. Maybe these files are fake. And Bambi's like, no, Pooh Bear, like, look, come here. I got to show you something. So Bambi leads him to like another room where he sees his vial. And he's like, that vial contains enhanced DNA, our DNA. This is what makes us what we are. The government developed it. It's what transformed us from regular animals into these freaks. And Pooh Bear is like going through the files and he sees more. He sees like Bambi and Bambi's mom being captured, Bambi's mom being murdered, Bambi as a regular fawn being injected with all this like enhanced DNA. And Bambi's like, do you know what today's mission was? The government told us it was to stop eco-terrorists. But the truth is that these scientists were defectors. And they were planning on manufacturing more of our DNA so that they can sell it to foreign militaries and make new animals super soldiers. The whole reason we're here is to stop them so that the government can have a monopoly on this. We're nothing but pawns to their game, Pooh Bear. Come on, join me. Like, now we have the power, our DNA in our hands. We can show them how strong we really are. And Pooh Bear's like, Bambi, whatever this is, you gotta stop. Bambi's like just trying to convince him. He's like, Pooh Bear, you're my friend, or at least I thought you were. But maybe they made me think that. Pooh Bear's like, no, man, you are my friend. Like, you're my friend. Tigger's my friend. Eeyore, Owl, Rabbits, they're all my friends. General Robin, like, he's my friend too. Like, come on, let's just go and talk this out. And Bambi's like, I can't, man. Like, join us. And Pooh Bear's like, I can't. And Bambi's like, well, then I'm done with you too. And he charges at Pooh Bear, and Pooh Bear shoots him in the head and kills him. Or judging by the fact that this title is called Pooh versus Bambi, I'm assuming he believes he killed him, but Bambi's going to come back. And then that's when we cut to years later, where Pooh Bear is like a hobo living out in the woods. And he's just trying to like hide out. Basically, he explains that after he's shooting Bambi, he basically took the files and joined up with the rest of the squad, and they were on a plane heading back towards home when they got a anonymous tip that the government had catched on to Bambi, and that they were scared that all the other animals would like fall in Bambi's footsteps, and basically that they were going to end up betraying them at some point. So the government decides, well, we'll just kill them. We have to just eliminate the Pooh Bear in the game. And so the pilots and guards that were on the plane were about to murder Pooh Bear, but since he got the tip, him and his squad were able to kill off the guards, take over the plane, and they basically parachuted at random areas and decided, like, we're just going to split up and live our lives off the grid. And so Pooh Bear is just trying to keep a low down, stay hidden from the government, hope that eventually the government will forget about him. But at some point, he comes across a deer, and a hunter shoots it. And then the hunter sees Pooh Bear and freaks out. And the hunter's son is able to snap like a video of Pooh Bear before they run off. And I guess it gets uploaded onto the internet. And so the government realizes that Pooh Bear is still alive and he's in the area. So they sent out a squad of common riders to fight Pooh Bear. And one of the common riders is a chick that looks like Harley Quinn, and her name is Piglet. So yeah, that's Pooh Bear versus Bambi. You know what? I went into this just expecting trash, because I'm like, okay, this is just another cash grab at the Pooh Bear name since it's gone into public domain. But I actually like this. I like this a lot because it's just it takes like the cliche action story, and it plays it up, like, and it just like ups the ante, like the satire, so much that it just becomes a comedy. But it's not one of those where like it's hard to explain. It's not trying to be a comedy per se. Like, it's not one of those like off the wall screwball comedies. It's so like over the top that it turns back into being comedy. It's hilarious. Like, I found myself laughing throughout this whole thing. I liked it. I thought it was really good. So yeah. Pooh Bear and the gang go on a mission. Pooh Bear is forced to kill his best friend, and he gets betrayed by the government, becomes a hobo, and basically we get the whole, like, the government shows up and they're like, Pooh Bear, we got one final job for you. Your best friend is still alive. You need to stop him. I'm guessing that's what's going to happen. I'm assuming that's where issue number 2 is going to start. Like, yeah, I thought this was really good. I liked it. It's dumb fun. It's basically a popcorn flick in comic book form. I thought it was awesome. Like, artwork's pretty good too. Really enjoyed the artwork, and yeah, I recommend it. It was surprisingly fun. Like, I went into this thinking like, this is gonna be just like really stupid, and it is, but it's like entertaining stupid. Like, it's one of those where it's just, again, it takes all the cliche like action tropes. We have like the big bad super soldier who becomes like disconnected with his government or with his like leaders, and he goes off the grid and becomes like a washed out guy, and he's like dragged back into the fold for one last mission. It basically is taking that story, and it makes it so super over the top because the main character is Pooh Bear, and that's where like all the comedy comes from. But yeah, I go check it out. It was a lot of fun. So there you go. There's Pooh Bear versus Bambi. Issue number 1 from Zenescope. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Later. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, I still want to thank you for watching it this far, and I hope the next one is more to your liking. With that said, thank you once again, and I hope you guys and gals have a good one. Later.